And I'm live. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Getting ready for a happy new year. Um, my the Twitter space, if anyone cares about that, is blowing up. What up, Jack? What's going on, man? Blowing up because in the whole manosphere thing is imploding, right? So if you've been paying any attention at all, that's what's going on. If you're not paying attention to that, then good. Don't even worry about it. Just move along. All right. This isn't usually something I care about, even care to talk about, but I am going to get into it a little bit today because it does apply to um and no, it's not just because of Jack Murphy. There's also been a what's up, Hook? It's also been a shooting as well in Denver with a guy who was in the manosphere space and was an author. His real name was Lyndon McLeod. McLeod. One of those names, anyway. You can look it up. In fact, I linked in the description if you're really interested in the drama and to know the specifics. Rolo does a good breakdown on his channel with Ryan. You guys can jump on there and they break that stuff down. So the beach shoreline, by the way, was amazing over in San Diego area. Had an awesome time. Happy New Year to you as well. But it's not. I'm not going to get too far into that drama because I don't care about it. My suggestion is that you don't care about it. But we're going to talk about more or less the whole issue of masculinity coaches and different spaces and some of the problems that we have with that and the pathological people that get attracted to these spaces. And I know in some ways I'm, technically in a space of some sort, but I really don't care or pay attention to it. Most of you guys who know me and been paying attention to me for a long time know that I'm blissfully unaware and if anything, intentionally unaware of what goes on in internet spaces. I just don't care. My interest in this with this channel is in helping you guys out and helping people in their relationships and dating and all that stuff, and also helping people with their mental fitness and their mindset and peak performance. So those are the things that I'm interested in, you know. Um that's what I work on. So I don't care about the weirdos. I hear about these weirdos when they surface for doing weird things, right? Or tragic things in the case of a gunman situation. Someone who's very, pathological, mentally ill, more or less. I mean, I say mentally ill. I don't even like that term because it almost absolves him of responsibility. But obviously, we'll say just a psychopathic person that decides to go on a shooting rampage. But, prior to that, though, people are inviting them to speak at places and, giving raving reviews on his goofy book that I have no interest in reading. It looks like garbage on paper. And here we are dealing with these people who are just in a fantasy world. So let's just break down kind of what happens here, because a lot of you guys come to internet spaces, if you want to call it that, right? Whether it's red pill or, manosphere or black pill or whatever, who cares? They all have goofy names that you all already tell you that we have a problem. Okay. And so people come to these goofy spaces and they are looking for answers, they're looking for help, and then they get into someone's um someone's whatever, their product line, the message that they're sending, and they get steered in the wrong direction. Now, in the case of someone like an Elliot Rogers, like for example, these people had something wrong with them to begin with, and then got into a space that furthered what was wrong with them, right? Exaggerated and expanded their toxic mental framework. Is what they found. That's the thing about the internet. If you have a toxic mental framework, you could find things to fuel that toxic mental framework. If you live in a fantasy land in your head, okay, and you're dangerous to other people, you could find things to confirmation bias that worldview. We see it all the time. If you think that, the opposite sex is garbage, whether it's women are crap or in the case of the feminists, men aren't crap, you'll find plenty of things to support that on the internet. And really, the internet, for better or for worse, is just an information search engine, right? That will supply you with more ammo to confirm your already existing beliefs rather than challenge those, right? You can ignore the things that'll challenge your beliefs if you choose to. And instead, you can latch on to the things that are going to confirm your oftentimes wrong and negative or crappy worldview or beliefs. And so that's what we're going to look at a little bit today. And this is also a Q&A as well. So if you guys have a question related to the topic or not related, just throw it in a super chat and I'll do my best to address it. Okay. But, it's just, it's kind of goofy and funny in some ways because a lot of us have been predicting this and saying this for quite some time, but then there's some tragic elements to it as well. And I think that the real tragedy, besides, of course, people who are victims in the cases of shooting, but the real tragedy here is the people that come to this space or to the space of men's help, we'll call it, okay? And even women too are looking for help in different ways, and they come to different spaces, and they're just, they're steered the wrong way. They're put into, they're given information, they're given stuff that really just fuels more toxic behavior, fuels their anxiety, fuels their depression, makes things a lot worse for them. You know what I mean? And so that's the big problem, really, is that you can follow and listen to and feed your brain with the wrong stuff, and then you find yourself worse off than you were before. And that happens to a lot of people. All right. So we're going to get into how to vet this stuff out, like how to actually sift through the internet coaches, the dating coaches, the alpha masculinity coaches. And I use the word alpha, but I use the word alpha as a descriptive term. You know what I mean? It's not to present some sort of cartoon character that you're supposed to be like. And so we can, go down the rabbit hole a little bit with these things. So you guys have a real good, clear picture of what you need to do to sort of vet this stuff out. All right. So I got an itemized list. And then after that, of course, I'll just introduce you guys already haven't heard about it. Link is in the description if you're interested in the Seduction and Frame mastermind program. Jump on there, free interview and consult. It's an interview because we're only taking a certain amount of people, and it's to work on our frame and seduction skills all year round. So whether you are in a relationship, dating, out of a relationship, or just broke up with somebody, whichever it may be, we can get you dialed in finally with your situation with the ladies within the next year in a very focused and surgical manner so that you'll increase those skills and really never have to worry about that area of your life again. You'll know what to do and how to take the right action. And I appreciate that. Yeah, the Alpha Mindset course is still available for purchase. If you guys want that, it's on the website. And that's an excellent resource for you guys. And I'll be updating that course roughly every quarter to every 6 months as new research comes out. And those of you who have bought it already will get those updates for free. It'll just show up in the course stuff, and I'll announce it, and it'll be there. And with the membership the membership, which is the mastermind, Seduction Mastermind, that there's some tiers that include that Alpha Mindset course as well, because that's vitally important. But anyway, let's get into the topic. So here's the thing. When you're looking at somebody who's a YouTuber on their internet or whatever, and they're presenting a bunch of stuff, and it's in that area that you're curious about, that you want to improve or whatever. You're seeking out answers. Ask yourself, what is the purpose? What is this person's purpose for being on YouTube and talking to you or having a show or a podcast in the first place? And you can usually break down that intended purpose into three possibilities. One is entertainment. Is this person trying to entertain you primarily or be entertaining? Two is really kind of another form of entertainment, but it's more general news or information commentary. So when someone's talking about the state of the world or politics or, whatever, general values, they're not giving you information for you to action necessarily in your own life. They're just having a discussion about general news or information. So it's information commentary, right? And none of these things are bad. Okay. So example, like, let's say Ben Shapiro. Okay. Ben Shapiro has his show. That's an example of what I would consider a general news and information commentary. He has a worldview. He presents that worldview and those ideas in his platform, and he covers current events, right? And so that's that. But you could have a lot of people who claim to be Manosphere or masculinity coaches or red pill stuff. Well, when they're delivering that red meat, right, or any of that kind of stuff in that video, they're delivering the general news or commentary, right? And that's what that's all about. Entertainment, well, entertainment would be more like, is this here to entertain you or be interesting? And I would consider, like, for example, like Fresh and Fit more on the entertainment side of it. All right. And I'm not slamming on these people I'm mentioning or anything like that. I'm just stating what it is. And then there's a third category, which is this person presenting an expertise in something? And so that's information that's not just general information commentary or news, right? Or general philosophy, but this person is giving you an expertise. He's an expert in something, or at least believes he is. And he's giving you a bunch of information on that very topic. So when I get on, for example, and I do, let's say, stuff on game or do a video on, sexual marketplace and game and how to execute certain strategies in your relationships, I'm giving you things from a point of an expertise, right? I have an expertise in something, which is frame seduction and general sexual dynamics and intersexual dynamics, and I'm giving you that expertise via video format. And so those are your three categories. This person is giving you information for you to action. They're an expert in something, even something like a how to, I don't know, fix your car or whatever, how to change your brakes in this particular model. That's a how-to thing, but it all falls in line with this person is an expert in this topic, and then they're presenting that. Or again, information, general news, commentary, kind of more worldview philosophy stuff, or just pure entertainment. Okay. Now these things cross over. I may do something entertaining in some of my videos, but my general purpose though is that I'm an expert in certain things, which is peak performance, mindset, dating, relationships, sex, all that stuff. I'm presenting things from that format so you guys can action things in your life. Fresh and Fit, for example, might give you some advice in the show. He might have some stuff or whatever, but generally speaking, it's entertainment, right? They're interviewing people. Joe Rogan, that's more entertainment plus news, information, commentary. It's kind of both, right? And so, like, just to give you an example. So you got to first of all ask yourself, well, what is this person doing? Now, if the person is there to entertain you, and then they say, buy my Gumroad course to teach you how to be a man, you got to question that. All right. You got to ask yourself if that's valid. If what they're presenting is actually worth the money, right? If they say join my group and it's an entertainment group or just a general news and information commentary thing, that's when you sort of need to question the quality of that. Because this person is been trying to entertain you via YouTube, collecting subscribers, likes, and all that stuff, right? And not really giving you information that would indicate he's an expert in anything. not giving you material that would indicate that he can give you advice that will allow you to get the results you're expecting to get from a course like that, you know? And so, and again, it's not to say that that the course would necessarily be bad either, right? But you do need to question that and really consider, is this person grifting to make money off courses, which can be very profitable, or is this course or this thing this person is offering actually worth anything? You know, because if someone's just on the YouTube entertaining you and then tries to sell you a product they're basically just, that'd be like me telling you to buy, to drink Pepsi because I'm drinking Pepsi on the show here or something, right? There's no, it's almost an endorsement rather than, anything actionable. You get what I'm saying? And so that's a big thing. You got to ask yourself, is this person an expert in what they're talking about? You know what I mean? And so that's or are they just, so you have a lot of people who have this content, right? They do, I'm not going to name drop anything because I don't know the quality of everybody's courses, but I do know that there's a lack of quality in a lot of courses. So we'll put it like that. And so you'll have these people here that will be entertaining you and providing information commentary, like along the lines of red pill stuff. And those guys are going to get a ton of looks and views and subscribers, because entertainment is always something people are more apt to watch versus information. People generally want to be entertained when they get on YouTube. This is just a fact of the matter, right? They're there to be entertained. When someone's scrolling through TikTok, they're there to entertain themselves. Instagram, same thing, okay? They're there for the entertainment. They're not there to find actionable information to better their life 90% or more of the time. So you're going to have these entertainers who are going to have a lot of followers, views, especially things like subscribers, by the way, which can be purchased. And they're going to seem very credible. And then I say, buy my course. But the course is going to be garbage because they're not actually anybody who is an expert in those things, right? These, hey man, good to catch you live too. I'm not really catching you live. You're catching me live. I sent you an email though. I hope you got it. All right, bro. So anyway, a little break from that. But yeah, so yeah, you got to be leery of that. Okay, you have to vet. That's your first thing. If a guy is, and you've seen this, what is his name? Steve Harvey is who I'm thinking of. All right, so taking it out of the space into just mainstream stuff. Like Steve Harvey's got like not really courses, but books on like how to do this or whatever. No offense to him, man, but I don't know what he's telling like women and relationship books. He has no expertise in that, in my opinion. He is an entertainer, okay? And no offense to him, right? But it is what it is. Okay, I wouldn't go to him for relationship counseling or advice. The guy is an entertainer. All right. Now you may like Steve Harvey or whatever and his stuff, whatever. Somebody might like that. That's fine. But is that really going to be valuable, actionable information? You really got to ask yourself that stuff. And there's not much of a separation because, like, really, I might do something entertaining, or I might have video where I'm giving more of a commentary, you know what I mean, or whatever, rather than something actionable, even though the main reason I'm here is to provide my expertise to you. So it can get confusing, but you got to ask yourself, with this person that's trying to sell you this thing, do they have an expertise in this thing, or do they just have a large subscriber count or a lot of followers or a good, maybe even a really interesting podcast or an interesting show, right? And now they're basically grifting off that to try to sell you products, right? And I don't care. Sell your products. That's fine. Not anti-capitalist here, but the problem is when people have real concerns, they need real help, and they're buying information, they're buying a product that they hope to get the help with from an entertainer, right? Or from just a information commentary guy. And they're trying to get help, and that's what they're getting. And they end up not getting the information that they need, and sometimes getting the wrong information And by actioning that, they can go down a pathway of being worse off. And we don't want that. I don't want that for you guys. All right. So let's look at number 2 in my list here. Back to, because I talked about subscriber count, stuff like that. Look at quality versus popularity. Now, I'm not going to say that everyone who's popular is low quality. I'm not saying that. But you have to look at it like this, though. Because it's not, I mean, you have to look at things on an individual basis, right? And maybe, someday I do this for a while. I'm a slower build because I'm not an entertainer. So for me, it's going to take me a lot longer to build subscribers up and to build, an audience. But yeah, someday I'll have a big audience. And I hope that doesn't mean that I'm low quality. Okay. So it's not always an indicator of low quality, but you need to pay attention to the quality over the popularity is my point, because there's a lot of people that are popular out there. In fact, I would say most people that are popular out there, especially in YouTube, are giving out low quality information. All right. It's low quality stuff. And it only makes sense, right? Because the status quo is not high up here, right? The average is average. It's here. And so like your people that are going to get a ton of views, ton of followers are going to give out things that'll resonate to the average person. And it's going to be average information and very shallow and maybe not in depth. And that information isn't going to be good enough to get people to continue to watch, because that's boring. So then they got to throw in some entertainment and some outrage, right? And so the most popular shows and personalities that you're going to see are people who outrage market. It's always going to be there. The outrage marketers will always steal the show. All right. And some of those outrage marketers aren't terrible. All right. So I'm not slamming on all of them or anything like that. But I'm just saying for you to use your critical thinking skills, because outrage marketing that collects 500,000 subs, right, for example, or doesn't mean that they're going to put out quality of information. In fact, chances are a lot of the information they're putting out is very average because it's appealing to the average person. Now, if you're somebody in a top tier and you want top tier information, or if you want to be in the top tier of an area of expertise you're seeking out someday, right? If you want to have the best experiences in your relationships with women, for example, versus average shitty experiences, right? Then you're going to seek out information that's of a higher caliber, higher quality, which is going to be over the heads of most of the people out there. And so those people aren't going to subscribe. Those people aren't going to click. They won't watch videos till the end. You see what I mean? And so quality and popularity are not always working well together. In fact, popularity is often an indicator of low quality. All right. Not always, but often. And there's some people who are very popular who are also very good. They balance the marketing with quality, but most of the time, that's not what it is. It's outrage marketing, right? And so you got to look at that. And some of the people with the highest quality stuff, especially if we're talking about game and seduction, right? Pick up all that. The highest quality stuff is oftentimes not the most popular. You know what I mean? Because they're sitting here putting out quality and not trying to entertain you. And so it's only a very small niche of people that are going to find it. Which brings me to my next point of this, which is, see if I get this right here. Yeah, well, I think I want to add to, I got to add to one thing here to like, see what this says. First, though, look at that. Influencers call and refer to people as buying units in the business world. Make sure you are pulling the trigger for the right product. Yep. Very good. I like that. So I thought I'd put that up there. So now just to let you guys know, I see some questions in the chat. I am not here to be the vetting process of different individual content people. So I'm not here to trash talking any individuals. It's not what I do. And I'm not here to necessarily bless off on anybody either, right? Although there's people that I work with, and I'm clearly, good about referring those people. The people that I will refer you to as being good, it's people that I believe are really good. But I'm not gonna, people I don't know a lot about, or people that I'm not, never met, or people that, I'm not your quality control guy, because I want you to be your own quality control guy. Okay. I want you to use your head and really be able to vet through and think who's good and who isn't by using this process I'm giving you right now. Okay. I'm giving you some steps here. And so I want you to really use your head. You tell me what you think. All right. I'm not going to necessarily tell you don't go for this guy, though, unless the person, of course, is really bad or toxic, and I have to. But there's so many bad and toxic content creators that I can't keep up. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to go down that road. It'll just pollute my channel with me just slamming on people. It's not really what I want to do, because I'm here to give you guys my expertise, which is not, determining whether somebody else is legit or not. My expertise is in what I'm going to teach you guys with game and mindset. Okay. So that's that. But another thing too, you got to understand that how things sort of develop, right? It's like a lot of times you'll have someone who is a pathological personality who's got narcissistic delusions, and they run to the internet as a platform. They now have a platform to get people to verify their delusions in their own head, and people that they can market to and grift off of and make money. And so these people run to the internet, and then they build an audience up, and they build an audience up rather quickly and readily, more so than some of the non-toxic, very functional people that are actually experts. All right. You have a lot of actual experts out there that don't grow very fast at all. And then you have these loser, pathological, toxic idiots that grow real quick. Why is that? Because the toxic idiots are looking to the internet to try to confirm their own toxic beliefs. Then they find somebody to do that, and then I'm better than everybody. I found this information. I found this club to be in, or whatever. I found this group to be in, and now I'm with this guy in this group, and I'm better than all these other. Okay, so guys want to spurg out and be toxic weirdos, and then they fall in line with these other toxic weirdos. Well, what happens? Their click rates go up, their subscriber counts go up, right? And then that registers on YouTube more. So now normal people who are searching for information, let's say on the sexual marketplace or dating or relationships or whatever, they get on the internet because they're having struggles, and then they see pathological weirdo guy. They see this idiot over here who can put on a good face and facade if you don't know anything else about him. And they think, oh, geez, this guy must know what he's talking about because he's got all these subs. And then you'll have other people who are interested in boosting up their own podcast or boosting up what they're doing. And they'll say, oh, hey, pathological idiot guy, why don't I have you on my show? Because you have a lot of subs, so people must like you. And so then that guy gets on that person's show, and the person can present themselves to be functional just enough to get more likes and subscribers and all that stuff. But the information he actually is putting out at its core is trash. It's garbage. It's nothing you're going to use. And if you try to use anything actionable that this person's telling you, you know what I mean? They're just sound bites, really. A lot of these people are a pile of sound bites so that other people can confirmation bias their own beliefs. Oh, it feels good when someone says something you already believe in. Doesn't that feel good? Ugh. Like whatever, men need to take responsibility and man up. Oh yeah, men need to man up. Right? It's just dopamine. Give me that dopamine with my confirmation bias. And it's just a bunch of idiots running around repeating sound bites all over the place and trying to be cooler than everybody else on the internet. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. And then normal people say, oh, shoot, well, this guy has a couple 100,000 subs. You know, he must be worth something. I should probably buy his course. Or, oh, I'll sub to him. I guess it's kind of entertaining. You know, this guy just keeps trashing on women all day. You know what I mean? And I feel pretty angry at women right now, too. So, sure, that sounds good, right? Or whatever. And that's how the stuff builds, right? It's because it's a bunch of people confirming their own biases. That's how they get popular. That will grow much faster and sell more advertising dollars, all right, than somebody who is sincere and genuine and has an expertise in something that you can action. So, again, it's not to say that the high subscriber, popular people are all bad, but being popular does not indicate quality. And that's a big thing. All right. A huge thing. So, next bullet point here is the person that you're turning to solution focused? All right. Are they focused on you getting some results? Are they using targeted action and targeting a niche, or are they being more general? Right. So beware of the I'll make you better as a man grift. Okay. Because like I'll give you exactly, I'll use my own stuff as an example. There's certain things that I'm very, very good at, and certain things that I'm okay at, and there's certain things that I'm not good at all. So I would never sit here with any seriousness and tell you that I'm going to help you be a man. And so just do what I say, follow what I do, because I'm this pinnacle of manhood. All right. That's that masculinity coaching grift. All right. Join my group of men where we do manly men things and everyone follows me because I'm the man. Narcissistic delusion. All right. That's crazy. Okay. That's stupid. There's certain things I'm real good at. And that's what I present to you guys. Okay. Frame, seduction, pickup, all the things involving the sexual marketplace and your relationships and getting over relationships and getting into new relationships and dating, spinning plates or whatever, all that stuff. Okay. Navigating the sexual marketplace. That's an expertise I have. That's what I offer you guys. I'm not the most perfect, let's say, fighter. That's a great example, actually. I do have an expertise, believe it or not, in martial arts. Okay. I have a long martial art a lengthy martial art background, and I was doing military stuff, and I was able to teach and train soldiers in some of those things. Okay. But I'm not putting out my Gumroad course on how to fight. Why? Because, I mean, it's not what I do. That's not the biggest expertise I have. I'll refer you to my friend Jod Fitch, okay, for some of the online courses and stuff that he has. His stuff is pretty good, and every time he says something about fighting, it fits with what I know and my expertise, what I understand, my experiences. I got another friend locally, Ian Kinder, who's got a great training company. I refer that out to other experts. Entrepreneurship. I'm pretty good at entrepreneurship at this point. I'm not the best because I'm relatively new. Who's really damn good though is Richard Cooper, Entrepreneurs in Cars. If you want to be a better entrepreneur, I'm going to send you there. Okay. Not that I couldn't give you some good advice, but his advice is going to be really good. I go to him for advice in entrepreneurship. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm getting at here? I'm not claiming to be an expert in everything. Just follow me, send me your money, join my cult. You'll be just like me. Everything will be wonderful. That's the stuff you got to be aware of. You got to be leery of that. Does this person have an expertise in a skill set or two that he is going to help you with, right? That he's there to help you and dial that part of your life in. If it's seduction and frame and dating relationships or whatever, I got a mastermind program rather, with course materials, Zoom calls, one-on-ones, links in the description. That's my expertise. Also, peak performance and mindset and getting dialed in up here. I got a ton of information on that. Guy got that for you. How to manage your money or how to do cryptocurrency. Sorry, I have to refer you out. I'm not going to sit here and be the expert of everything. If you have someone trying to be the expert of everything, that is a red flag because they're not. Nobody is. And so something that they're trying to sell you, and potentially and probably everything they're trying to sell you, is garbage. Okay. And so it's just that is something that you guys need to be aware of. All right. And so you guys have asked me some different questions. Well, be leery of that person who tries to be the best at everything. I'm not. Okay. I'm still working and getting better at everything, even including the things that I'm would say I'm an expert at and that I offer to you guys. I'm still improving on those things, right? I'm not infallible. I can be wrong sometimes in everything that I do, just like anybody else. You want somebody who's able to say that, which brings me to, another point though, too, which is beware of someone selling an avatar. All right. That means that they're putting up a persona of like the alpha man, all right, or the masculine manly man, right? And then it's like this cartoon character of a person that you're supposed to be like, and this ideal, like this Jesus that they've made up in their head. Like Jesus, in a way, is the avatar for the Christians. But that's a religion, though, and I'm not actually disparaging Christian religion. That's fine. But is the guy you're following on YouTube that's trying to sell you a course or have you join his group, is he Jesus? Okay. The answer is no, right? And so when you place a person or being, or not just him, is he placing some sort of idealized character? And this is sort of the problem with the word alpha in a way, even though I use it because it's a great description. All right. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate you. But even though it's a good description, alpha is just the convenient description for things, and that's why I use it. It's convenient. But I am not. It's a description of some behaviors. I'm not putting up a cartoon character avatar of what an alpha male is and telling you guys to fit into that box. What I'm telling you is here's the traits of someone who would be a dominant leader. Here are the traits of someone who would be attractive. You dig inside yourself and your own personality and then choose and decide. Do you know what I mean? Decide that this is how I'm going to be. But see, I want you guys to be you. I don't want you to be, you know what I mean? I don't want you to be a somebody else. I don't want you to be a fictitious person. I want you to be the best version of you. That's different. And so you want to be aware of someone who's selling you that avatar, the Sigma male. There's another one. I make fun of the Sigma male thing. Thanks, bro. I think I make fun of the Sigma male thing because not that there's not that there's like zero validity or whatever, it's not even the point. It's just, it's being used as an avatar for guys to latch on to because Sigma to some people now is better than alpha. And it gets really stupid, right? Like we're now not being ourselves. We're chasing after a cartoon character. Now, look, here's why this stuff is dangerous. More of the story is coming out. And like I said, go to Roller's video if you want to hear about it, or go to the news if you want to hear about the Denver shooter. But that dude was a clown, right? He was a cartoon character. He was an avatar. He was believing an avatar. He was not grounded in reality. And that led him to targeting and shooting certain people for whatever reason. He had written different things where he felt he wrote, like one of the things he wrote in his books was how he carried out one of the shootings, for example. He bridged fantasy and reality because he's in a fantasy world up here. That's the danger when you're following an avatar, is that some of you guys, especially who might have pathological tendencies or at least the guys, hopefully not my guys, hopefully not you guys, but guys who are attracted to these personalities and spaces you may find yourself in trying to get better at something. And you got these people who are very dysfunctional, trying to become like a cartoon character instead of just being themselves and fixing what's wrong inside of them. You see how dysfunctional that can be. And that's where you end up with dangerous characters too. So be aware of the person selling the avatar, this pinnacle of man nonsense, BS character. Okay. Be yourself and get actionable advice to improve areas you want to improve on. That's really where it's at. And so, which leads to the next thing too. Sometimes the avatar is the actual personality, the cult of personality, right? The brand of me. That dude makes himself the brand. Now, to some degree, when you're, I know from experience, when you're on the internet, people are going to look up to you. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, people look up to other people. People want to model other people that, they feel is a good model for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean that you let that stuff, I'll say from my content creator, as well as a person here to help you guys out in certain areas of your life. I mean, that doesn't mean you let that stuff go to your head. You know what I mean? You don't think that you're this magical, invincible person. You start doing that, things start going wrong real fast. And I've watched it happen to a lot of people. Their egos get out of control, and they destroy their relationships they're in, or they destroy some aspect of their lives because they forget how fallible and human they really are, and they overlook grave mistakes. So as a creator, that's a big mistake, is to start to think you're actually better because you have a platform. That's a wrong idea. You just happen to have an expertise in something, and that's about where that goes, right? But someone is selling themselves. Look at how awesome I am and how cool I am, and there's a level of marketing. Hey, I'm going to throw a picture of myself on Instagram every now and then, looking cool as I can. Okay. Cause that's part of the deal. It's part of marketing. But am I really I don't think I'm this person you need to idolize. And I never present that to you guys. And people that I support generally don't do that either. All right. But you want to be aware of the person who does, because they're presenting themselves now as this avatar. And we've seen the pitfalls of that, because then their personal lives and things will become to light, like this whole Jack Murphy thing. I'll just name drop it and mention it. There's a dude who has a whole life that is not congruent with the brand he presents. And so people are buying into this cult of personality that he presents with his little group, and he's not living that life, right? And that's with a lot of these dudes. They're just not. And they have to continue to elevate this fantasy for their audience, and it's ridiculous. All right? And none of that stuff helps you. That's the thing. None of that's going to help you get better. None of it. None of it's going to be reliable, actionable information that is what brought you to that place. You came to those places and those spaces because you wanted help. And none of these things are going to help you. They're all going to distract you from getting the help that you need, because the help that you need might not be comfortable. The help that you need might, in fact, be very uncomfortable and might be hard to look at. It's hard to take a look in the mirror and find your deficiency and fix it, and not make excuses for yourself, or not talk about society and the greater whatever instead of looking at yourself. And then when you realize that deficiency, to not feel bad about it and beat yourself up over it, but instead take action and small steps to try to get better and improve on that area of your life. That's the hard work, and that's very uncomfortable, And so people avoid that discomfort by building up these little cults. And the end result is pathological people run them oftentimes. Pathological people are attracted to them sometimes. And then what ends up happening there is you have a lot of bad experiences, things that you're paying for and putting effort in that are screwing you up making you worse rather than making you better, or worse, we're fueling pathological people to do maybe terrible things, whether it's with their families, their kids, their girlfriends, or whether it's in something extreme like these shooting incidences, right? And so that's the real thing. All right. So look for sincere and authentic people, not people just promoting a brand. And look for people who are actual experts, not just people who are trying to build a fantasy or entertain you or make some sort of general commentary so that, you can get that worldview of yours confirmed and feel good, but not actually make any improvements or make a difference. All right. So, on that note, I'm going to have to cut it short. And that's okay. I don't have any supers, which is fine because I really got to bounce. But hopefully, you guys found this valuable. Looking into some of the comments here, but I have an actual a session that I got to get on right now, another appointment. But I just want to take this time to have that conversation. I think it's really important, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, hit that like, watch until the video cuts off because it'll just be about a couple seconds. That helps me a lot. When you watch my videos to the end, by the way, that does help me. All right, so this can be an ongoing conversation, but seek out people who are here to present an expertise and help you. My receipts, and that's another thing, receipts. My receipts are the results you guys get. You can go through my YouTube comment section. You can go through my reviews on the courses and on my website, and you'll see that people are genuinely, and even the comments here, people are genuinely getting improvements in their life. I mean, oftentimes, very drastic improvements. And that's where it's at. That's my receipts. Who cares what girls I'm banging or how many girls I stuck my dick into, right? Or whatever cool shit I used to do in the military or whatever cool stuff I do. I mean, I share some of this stuff with you guys because for a learning experience, but that's not the point. That's not the receipt. All right. It's not that I don't have those things. It's just that that's not what's important. What's important is you. Okay. The results you get. Doesn't matter if some guy gets all the women in the world, makes $1 billion a year, and is the pinnacle of mental fitness if he can't impart that information to you, right? So that's where the difference is. You pick the people that are going to help you do better, not the people that are just going to make you feel a certain way and then continue the same old day in, day out. All right, I'll close it with that. Thanks again and Happy New Year.